Amidst the lively chaos of the dog park, Smokey the Dogtective, clad in a miniature trench coat, surveys the scene with a keen eye and magnifying glass. Dogs of every breed bound and frolic, chasing balls and squirrels, burying treasures with unrestrained delight. Despite the jovial atmosphere, Smokey's focused gaze hints at a hidden mystery, a subtle disruption beneath the playful surface. A plaintive whimper pierces the air as Fifi laments, whimpering about her missing prize-winning bone. Smokey's office overflows with canine comforts and case mementos, a haven for a detective of his pedigree. Amidst chew toys and bone-shaped trinkets, Smokey listens intently, his paw poised with a pen, ready to capture every detail. Fifi's distress is palpable, her eyes wide as she describes the gravity of her loss. It's irreplaceable, the envy of every dog in the park. Fifi laments, her voice trembling with a mix of despair and indignation. Smokey nods, the weight of the case settling upon his furry shoulders, the challenge accepted. Smokey arrives at the dog park, the scene of the missing bone. He begins his investigation, nose to the ground, sniffing at disturbed earth where Fifi's bone was buried. Smokey meticulously examines paw prints, his brow furrowed in canine concentration. A glint of color catches his eye. He pauses, focusing intently on a small, muddy clue. Smokey carefully picks up the feather, a potential key to unlocking the mystery of the missing bone. Smokey enters the bird sanctuary, his gaze sweeping across a kaleidoscope of vibrant colors and exotic birds. The air vibrates with the symphony of chirps and rustling wings as Smokey follows the feather clue. Rico, a flamboyant macaw preening on a branch, becomes Smokey's focus. Rico, I'm investigating a theft. Have you seen anything unusual? Rico nervously glances at a pile of shiny objects nestled in his nest. Theft? Unusual? I know nothing. Absolutely nothing. Under the lurid glow of neon lights, the cat cafe beckons, its windows hazed with warmth and secrets. Smokey, a tabby hardened by the streets, approaches the entrance, his eyes set with grim purpose. Inside, amidst the pampered comfort, Smokey finds Shadow, a Siamese of refined indifference. Shadow, I need information. Shadow looks and directs Smokey to Rue. The Siamese head of house, Rue's aloof demeanor cracks slightly as he relents with cryptic guidance. Look to the one who benefits most. Smokey hesitantly enters the bustling dog park, his tail wagging with uncertainty. Amidst the playful chaos, Smokey's eyes fixate on Pip, a tiny terrier amidst a mountain of bones. Pip fiercely gnaws on a bone, possessiveness gleaming in his eyes. With a triumphant snarl, Pip declares, "Lucky finds, all mine." Smokey watches, a mix of curiosity and caution in his gaze, as Pip fiercely guards his treasure. In the dim glow of his office, Smokey sits surrounded by scattered evidence, the lamplight casting long shadows. An iridescent feather lies beside a crumpled note, Shadow's taunting clue amidst the chaos. His gaze shifts from a police report detailing Butch's shady dealings to Pip's unsettling collection of bones, a silent narrative unfolding. Smokey reviews all of this, the puzzle pieces slowly aligning in his mind under the dim light. A sudden realization pierces through the haze. The true beneficiary is not the thief, but one who profits from their crime. At the bustling dog park, Smokey, a grizzled terrier mix, surveys his domain with a keen eye. Fifi, the fluffy poodle, Rico, the chihuahua with a Napoleon complex, Shadow, the sleek black lab, Butch, the burly bulldog, and Pip, the nervous Jack Russell, are all present. Smokey stands tall, his tail giving a slight wag as he prepares to make a dramatic announcement. The air crackles with anticipation as Smokey declares he knows the mastermind behind the Great Bone robbery. With a pointed glare, Smokey indicates Butch, the butcher's dog, as the prime suspect. In the sun-drenched butcher shop of memory, dust motes swirl in golden shafts of light. Pip, a scrappy terrier mix, weaves through a forest of legs, a mischievous glint in his eyes as he steals bones with daring agility. Triumphant, Pip drops his stolen treasure at the feet of Butch, a burly figure whose stained apron tells tales of hard work. Butch casts a calculating gaze upon the growing pile, a silent appraisal hinting at future plans. In the bright, stark light of the butcher shop, Butch stands sweating, a tableau of incriminating evidence arrayed before him. Marked bills, fake invoices, and a suspiciously gnawed sausage paint a clear picture of guilt. Nearby, Pip cowers, his tail tucked between his legs, a picture of canine shame. Butch throws his hands up in defeat. All right, I confess, it was me. He continues, desperation in his voice. I needed the money. I owe a gambling debt to a badger named Barry. A real piece of work, that Barry. Pip whimpers, adding his own admission to the chorus. I confess too. I was just trying to impress the other dogs with my finds. Smokey emerges from Butch's shop, Fifi's prize-winning bone clutched firmly in his mouth, a triumphant glint in his eyes. Fifi paces anxiously near the park entrance, her worry etched in every wag of her tail. Smokey drops the bone at Fifi's paws, a gesture of heroic accomplishment. Oh, Smokey, you found it. You really found it, Fifi exclaims, her joy radiating through the park. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the best detective ever. Fifi showers Smokey with praise as the other dogs erupt in a chorus of barks and howls, tails wagging in celebratory approval. In his dimly lit office, Smokey meticulously polishes his magnifying glass, sunlight catching the lens as he works. The shrill ring of the telephone shatters the quiet concentration. Howie's voice cracks through the line, his tone laced with urgency. The catnip shipment is missing, Smokey. Gone without a trace. Smokey pauses, the magnifying glass still in hand, a flicker of surprise in his eyes as he absorbs the gravity of the news. Outside the cat cafe, Shadow watches Smokey's departure, his eyes gleaming with cunning. A subtle smile plays on Shadow's lips, a silent acknowledgement of secrets and schemes. The missing catnip notice hangs in the window, a mystery only Shadow seems to comprehend. Beneath the cafe's warm glow, a new intrigue begins, woven in the silent plots of feline ambition. Deep within the badger's den, shadows dance as Butch nervously presents a stack of bones. Seated at a crude table of tree roots, Barry the badger's eyes gleam with anticipation. With meticulous precision, Barry counts the bones, a satisfied grin slowly spreading across his snout. Each bone clicks softly as it's added to the growing pile, a symphony of greed in the dim light. Barry's gaze pierces through the darkness, locking onto an unseen observer. A slow, deliberate wink seals the deal, a silent promise of secrets and shadows. Smokey ambles through the dog park, a haven of peace and order restored under his watchful eye. The air is filled with playful barks and the joyful panting of dogs at play. Pip, once a boastful bone thief, now happily fetches alongside his peers a picture of reformed camaraderie. Smokey pauses, his gaze meeting the camera's unblinking eye, a silent acknowledgement of his success. A subtle wink, barely perceptible, speaks volumes of a job well done, a mission accomplished. For now, tranquility reigns, and Smokey, the quiet guardian, allows himself a moment of serene satisfaction.